You are now tuned in to the one and only Mr. Merciless Badass. Welcome to the Murder Show. What's the goddamn deal, people? Welcome to the Murder Show. And before we get into this commentary, I just want to say thank you to all the people who still fucking with me. Even though you don't like Infinite Warfare, you still watch my videos. You still drop a motherfucking like on it. I really do appreciate that, man. But what we gonna talk about today is the death of a behemoth. The death of the biggest first-person shooter ever since Halo. The death of a giant. Is Call of Duty dead? I wouldn't say it's all the way dead, but it's definitely dying. I never thought, in all my years of playing COD, that we would ever get to this point to where Call of Duty would not be the #1 game. Or even that's not even accurate. It's not that COD ain't the #1 game. Because if I'm not mistaken, the sales for Infinite Warfare are higher than the sales for any other game. I could be wrong though. Quoting some shit I heard, but I could be wrong. But looking at the numbers for videos and live streams, it seemed like the community is split. And we're not even split down the middle. We split into so many different little fractions. It's like 30% of the community playing Infinite Warfare. The other 30% playing Modern Warfare Remastered. And then you got the remaining 40% of the community still playing Black Ops 3. Or should I say maybe 30% of the community still playing Black Ops 3. The other 10% got an Xbox and they playing backwards compatible World at War, Black Ops 2 or whatever the fuck they making backwards compatible. You know, they got a spread all over the place. Never in the history of Call of Duty have we had so many choices as a Call of Duty gamer. It's always been one game per year, and the community moves from game to game. This year, I don't know if it was greed. I'm pretty sure it was greed. Cause ain't greed the death of everything? Don't greed destroy everything? Like, no matter what you doing or what you into, if you fuck around and get too greedy, that would add up to your own demise. Just like a man that's married. He got a badass wife at home, but he greedy. He work with a bunch of bad bitches, and he want them. He go to the grocery store, it's bad bitches at the grocery store. He greedy, he got to have it. So what ended up happening? His wife found out he been cheating, and she divorced him. He lose everything. He lose his kids, he lose his money, he lose his woman, all because he was too fucking greedy to be satisfied with what he got. Or maybe like a dope dealer who been on the block all night. He done made a nice pocket full of money, but yet he still want more. So he stay out later than he should and end up getting picked up by the laws. You see what I'm saying? Greed destroys anything. In Call of Duty, with all of their supply drops and adding all kind of fruity, girly, fruitcake type of shit to the game to appease a larger audience. Why? Because they greedy and they want the game to have more sales each year than the previous year. That greed has fucked up the franchise. Trying to put out 2 different games at the same time, along with making older games backwards compatible, has given everybody too many choices. You know, they say it's strength in numbers. Call of Duty still might be the biggest community, But since we spread out over 3 games, Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare, Modern Warfare Remastered, plus the backwards compatible, it's like we don't have strength in numbers no more. And it's sad, you know? We used to all be one big happy family. Now you got Modern Warfare Remastered fans hating on Infinite Warfare fans and vice versa. Then you got people hollering both games suck. They playing the older cars on the Xbox. You got people mad about the whole supply drop situation and all the stupid dance moves and shit in the game. They didn't just gave up on the franchise. They going to other franchises. You know, it's like Call of Duty is on life support. Everybody talking about the new 2017 COD. Supposed to be in Vietnam, boots on the ground. Everybody all excited about that. But even if they come out with a boots on the ground COD set in the past, it's not going to help the franchise. People have already gotten used to these advanced movements. A lot of people, contrary to what the people with the biggest mouth got to say, a lot of people enjoy the new movements in COD. I'm one of them. I hated when Call of Duty was boots on the ground with limited sprint, and you had to sprint a little while and then you had to walk. You sprint a little bit, then you had to walk. That shit was a drag and a pain in the ass, and it made me wear out my L3 buttons way too fast. So honestly, I really don't want to go back in the past unless you gonna make a boots on the ground game that's still fast paced, you know? So even though it'll make a lot of people happy to go back to boots on the ground, a lot of people are not gonna be happy with that. They might end up leaving the franchise then because of that. I would say I'd be one of them, but I can't leave COD like that. But I definitely will be still playing Infinite Warfare if they go back to that slow ass boots on the ground movement. Now where am I going with all this? I have absolutely no fucking idea, but y'all still listening, so I'm gonna keep on talking. This is my 3rd commentary I done in a row, trying to get back in the groove. You know, I just wanted to talk about greed. You know, learn a lesson from Call of Duty. Greed will fuck you up. I mean, I could go on and on with the comparisons and analogies or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But no matter what you apply it to, if you be too greedy, you're gonna fuck yourself up. Call of Duty trying to do too much. They trying to please too many people. You gotta realize that sometimes you hit what is called a peak. You're not always gonna be able to outdo the last thing you did. Life is full of ups and downs. They came out with supply drops in Advanced Warfare, and they made a whole bunch of money on it. But they got a whole lot of flack from the community because they didn't like having to gamble and take chances to get a gun. We feel like if we pay for the game, we should get all the content that comes with the game. We shouldn't have to gamble and play the slots to try to get the content that's supposed to come in the game for free. So when Black Ops 3 came out, they only had cosmetic items in the supply drops. That didn't work out because people not gonna spend no money on some shit that's just cosmetic. It really ain't that important. And as a company looking at the numbers, the bigwigs was like, shit, y'all ain't making enough money selling supply drops, so y'all need to put some shit in there that's gonna force people to buy them. And of course, putting guns in there with different stats and shit is what it takes. So to get that money, they went against what they said they was gonna do, and they put weapons in the supply drops in Black Ops 3, which really pissed a lot of people off. It ran a lot of people away from the franchise, and understandably so. It's not fair that Johnny, Rico, and Timothy all got this certain weapon. I've been playing the game longer than all of them, and I don't have it. That shit ain't fair. It is not fucking fair, and it leave a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth. This game is rated M for mature. That means it's made for grown ass fucking men, and I guess you could say women too. But what they decide to do, they want to get the kids involved in the game. They want the little bitty children. They want your babies playing this game. So they got all these silly cartoon characters and all this silliness. I could go on and on about it. They got all this shit in the game, and it's pissing all the grown men off, running them away from the franchise. Why? Because they trying to be too greedy, and they want the game's audience to grow every year. In your attempt to please everybody, you end up displeasing more people than you pleasing. You see what I'm saying? Greed killed Call of Duty. It's dying slow, but it's definitely dying. I don't know if they're gonna be able to pull it back, because as long as it's run by Activision, it's all about money. You know, they don't really give a fuck about if we like something or not. The only thing they give a fuck about is turning a profit. It's sad, but it's the truth. So just remember, in your life, no matter what you do, make sure you never get greedy at it. Because if you get greedy, you might fuck around and lose everything. You gotta learn how to be content with what you have. Otherwise, you'll never be satisfied. Constantly chasing a dream, only to fuck around and lose everything in the end, because you was too damn greedy. Just like the little kid who wanted to eat all the cake so his little brothers and sisters won't get none. You little greedy fat fuck, so you ate the whole cake up. Now your ass sick with a stomach ache, throwing up and shit. Done lost everything trying to have it all. So don't be a greedy fat fuck in life. Learn how to be content. It's cool to not do as good today as you done yesterday, cause tomorrow you might even do better than that. But if you enjoyed the video, be sure to pimp slap the piss out of that like button for your boy. Leave me a comment, and be sure to hit that motherfucking subscribe button and don't miss none of this Call of Duty real shit. It's the murder show. Fuck with me.